What is GABL? It's more than playing basketball. It's about raising our kids.
My son Andy, who's getting ready to go in the 8th grade, had a number of experiences in youth sports, either through soccer or through baseball. But when it came time for basketball, I knew that Great American Basketball League had always done things right. But apart from that, I think it's been the kind of experience that any parent would want a kid to be in. And I can say after 5 years of being involved with it that I haven't been disappointed in the least.
It's about making a difference in our lives and the lives of the kids in our own communities.
When I was in 6th grade, thinking that far back, we had a coach that started with us and coached us for about 2 games, and then something that came up that was important to him, so we were coachless for the rest of the season. And I still remember that and felt like, well, if I ever have an opportunity to do something to make a difference, that would be meaningful to me.
These kids, it was meant to be a team game. These kids need to learn not just how to play basketball, but how to be good people too, and to work together and to try to do their best. And winning isn't everything. We've never talked about winning. We've always talked about doing our best and having a winning attitude.
The things we carry from childhood are those things that contribute to who we become.
I come from a small hometown, which, you know, we all played 3rd grade basketball together, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, on up, clear through high school, and there was always a sense of friendship and those relationships that you developed at a young age. I'll never let anybody take those away from me.
GABL is doing things in a new-fashioned way while retaining old-fashioned values.
That's one reason that I've liked GABL so much, is that it's about more than just playing basketball. This is a league that is really committed to not only developing kids as basketball players, but also promoting good citizenship, promoting being good students, promoting just doing a good job in whatever you do.
Founded in 1974 as a not-for-profit organization run by a volunteer board, the Great American Basketball League provides boys in Johnson County with an opportunity to play basketball in a competitive and learning environment.
The strengths GABL, I think, brings to the table for kids in this area is just our overall organization and resources that we can bring to the table. And I think the attitude of our volunteer board of directors and our volunteer directors, they have a strong desire to do what's best for kids.
Today we organize 300 teams annually and serve more than 3,000 Johnson County youths. We administer nearly 2,000 games played in 30 divisions during winter, spring, and summer seasons. We select and train more than 500 coaches and 150 officials. We have attendance of over 100,000 annually. We publish a newsletter for our members, the GABL News and the GABL Buyer's Guide, to help promote our corporate partners. Learning to play in a competitive arena, the community-based teams foster skills that shape our future leaders.
I think that the mentoring experience that you get, the fact that you need to be very well organized prior to the game and be able to think on your feet, that transfers over to the corporate world.
Looking toward GABL's future with the help of the corporate community and volunteer support, our goals include stabilizing and possibly reducing the individual's cost. In an age of increased expenses, we are looking for ways to decrease the cost of those participating in GABL's programs.
There are so many economic pressures on youth sports in this day and age. I think that this is a league that wants to continue to serve. It's probably also going to expand some, but I think the thing that really concerns me is that the increased costs could really price some kids and their families out of the market.
My son really enjoyed particularly playing in games. When we get into practice, the kids all want to scrimmage right away. And I found that the more they practiced, the more they played, the more he wanted to go out on his own in the driveway and shoot baskets, which is kind of neat.
Our group of coaches, many of them parents and dedicated volunteers, have multiple talents. We want to help them to help themselves by providing increased training programs to make them better coaches for kids.
If you want to be a really good high school player, you have to be skilled. And you're not going to get better shooting playing games. I think that too many coaches out there are coaching, not teaching, and I think GABL is trying to do a good job of educating these coaches to teach the game better.
There were some kids that didn't quite understand what sportsmanship was about. As I sit down with the parents and the players before we even bounce a basketball and say, here's what I expect, here's my expectations. They have an opportunity to voice their expectations, but one of them, of course, is what we're going to concentrate on, and the first thing is sportsmanship.
Where are we headed? We want to increase the available facilities on a long-term and short-term basis. We would like to improve officiating. We are also looking to expand throughout the Kansas City metro area and perhaps beyond.
The future of GABL, I think, is limitless. The opportunity to grow and get better and play other competition, I think, is one of the real challenges we have and one of the good things that we're going to do in the future. I feel that GABL experience has been a positive in my son's life because he has been afforded the opportunity to learn how to work with people, how to have common goals, how to work with people to attain objectives. And I think that overall that in the end will be a positive thing for him as he goes through life.
Making the connection generation by generation.
When we come home from the games, he's very talkative. My son generally is fairly a quiet person, but you can tell that he's really enjoying the games and the practices, and it's something that we can share, father-son.
I can tell you the success we've had the last 3 years has been large part due to these kids playing together and feeling like a team. Basketball is a team game. Individuals don't win games. Groups of individuals win games playing together, and I think that's developed at a young age.
Well, working in the Great American Basketball League has been a great experience. I've had the privilege of working with my son's group starting in the 3rd grade, and now we're getting ready to go into the 8th grade. And it has been really wonderful to see boys really develop into young men.
Well, I think number one is they develop some relationships at a young age, and that carries over to high school. I think a prime example is that is 2 years ago, our team that was state runner-up, those kids have all, I don't know how many of the starters or all the kids that played, but just about the majority of them were in GABL. It's great to see those kids come when we have GABL night at West and see them up in the stands, and I see the look in those kids' eyes, and you know, they want to put that uniform on it. I think there's an ownership there that's developed at a young age for the school that they're going to go play at.
Build the team and build the community.
It is about more than just playing basketball. And I know from serving on the board that we've got some people who love the league, who love to volunteer, who don't even have kids anymore, who just haven't had a kid playing in years. And it's just because it gives them an opportunity to try to mold some young lives, to get them involved in a good activity, to work on sportsmanship, and basically to make sure that these kids have a great time in sports. That's a real rarity in this day and age, and I think GABL does that better than any league I've seen.
100 years from now, it will not matter what our bank account was, the sort of house we lived in, or the kind of car we drove. But the world may be different because we were important in the life of a child. Great American Basketball League, making a difference.